Competitive industry structure. The competitive industry structure refers to elements and features of common to all industries. Its meaning to say that it consists of firms which produce goods and services. It's competing against one another. Perfect competition. A perfectly competitive industry is characterized as fragmented and has many small firms. A commodity product, ease of entry, and a little or no ability for each individual firm to raise its prices. It's a benchmark or ideal type to which real-life market structures can be compared. In this structure, they earn just enough profits to stay in the business and no more. If they were earn excess profit, others has a capability to try and enter the market and drive profits. They also sell products with minimal differences in features and pricing. Monopolistic competition. A monopolistically competitive industry is characterized by many firms, a differentiated product, some obstacles to entry, and the ability to raise prices for a relatively unique product while retaining customers. An example of monopoly is Meralco. Market structure monopoly, which means the barrier of entry is impossible to enter. So Meralco has no other competitor. Because there is one unique product, which means no one else sells it. You cannot buy it from anyone else, meaning that Meralco has a power to change the price of their product. The possibility of corruption in this market is high because they can change the price whenever they want. If you want to have an electricity, you have to pay Meralco. If you don't pay, you have no electricity because only Meralco has a supply of electricity. An example of perfect competition is a fishbowl. Barrier of entry is low that anyone can sell. It is so easy to get in this market. That's why there's a lot of competition. For example, there's one across the street that also sells fishbowl, and they sell the same exact product. Because there's so much of them, means that they have no market power, also means that they can change the price like Meralco. The possibility of corruption in this structure is less because they have no power market. To make it clear, perfect competition is a type of market form in which there are many companies that sell the same product or services, and no one has enough market power to be able to set prices on the product or services without losing business. None of these firms can really set their own price. If they go above the market price, well, then no one will buy from them, and so they will just be a price takers. Perfect competition is the opposite of monopoly, in which one single firm supplies a good or service, and that firm can charge whatever price it wants, since consumers have no alternatives and it's difficult for them to enter the marketplace. Monopoly, an industry when there is one large firm supplying the market. Mono means one, and the monopolistic is the only seller in the market. The firm may offer a unique product, and the challenges to moving into the industry tend to be high. It means that company and its product offerings dominated one sector or industry. In this firm, who is the sole seller of its products and were the only one or no close substitute. It has a market power and can influence prices, also selling a unique product in the market. Oligopoly arises when a small business of large firms have all or most of the sales in an industry. In this structure, it is dominated by few firms. There are few firms who sell homogeneous or differentiated products. There are few sellers in the market. An example of oligopoly is McDonald's and Netflix. McDonald's is considered as an oligopoly because oligopoly can only exist when a few firms are dominating the industry and have the ability to set prices. McDonald's cannot be considered as a monopoly because it does not single sell a good which is unique. Netflix is also one of the examples of oligopoly. There are few companies that control the entire market. Netflix and Amazon are the main competitors. Competition is much more limited. Strategic commitments. Firm action that are closely long-term oriented and difficult to reverse. Strategic commitments to a specific industry can stem from large fixed cost requirements but also from non-economic considerations. Exit barriers, obstacles that determine how easily a firm can leave an industry. Exit barriers are compromise of both economic and social factors.